Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Coming at you from Ramdino here in North Kakalaki. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's 24 degrees out here, and I don't know what the heck I'm doing out here bringing you the update when I got a perfectly warm house inside, but nothing's too much of a sacrifice for you guys out there, so let's go ahead and jump right into what's going on the trail right now quickly before I freeze to this seat. So, Turtleback, he's still out there on the trail, but he's going to be sheltering up and for the next day or so while we got this frigid single-digit temperatures. He's staying up there at the Angels Rest Hostel around Pearisburg, and he'll be staying there just for the next day or so till it gets warmer, and then he'll be getting back out there on the trail. He had a run-in with those feral goats that are up there around Pearisburg, and I don't know how I missed them when I hiked that section this past summer, but he ran into them up there, and they were very scary. They tried to eat his trekking poles and his things off his trekking poles, and then they bum rushed him and bluff charged him. So it was a very scary thing that was going on there for him. But in any case, he survived and was able to send us this video. So let's go ahead and run that video.
You can't eat my trekking pole. Get away. Bye-bye. Oh, hello, goats. I sure am popular, aren't I? Anybody behind me? No!
All right, so the ATC has decided to do something about those goats up there, and so more about that later on in the video. Who else is out there? So we still got Jen on the trail. She has been fighting this Arctic blast that we had coming down through there, but she's from Wisconsin, so no worries there. She knows how to handle it. She's also smart enough to know when to get out of it, and so she has gotten out of it there in Southern Virginia. And she'll be getting back on probably sometime around Monday, and she has only got 800 miles to go, so congratulations to her. So that's about all the folks we got that we know of that have been reporting back into us on the trail out there. We do have one group that's reported back into us. They're not on trail, they are off trail. Congratulations to Lilo and Stich. So they have finished their sub-o hike there at Springer, of course, the southern terminus, and then they went ahead and did the approach trail down at Amicalola Falls State Park and took the picture at the arch there. So that is awesome. They raised over $71,000 for the Michael J. Fox research for Parkinson. So that is just so killer, and they credited a lot of that to the hiker community out there. So thank you folks from the hiker community that did that. That is awesome. I think they originally were shooting for 50, and y'all just put them way over the top. So that is just really neat for y'all to do that for them and everything. The picture here we got, you'll notice Stich don't have her helmet on anymore, so I guess she's going to go without a helmet all the way back to Minneapolis, even though she's fighting those crowds in the airports. I do have word that they did make it home, even with all these issues going on with flight cancellations and things like that going on. So they made it home, and so I am taking up a GoFundMe page for some no scar cream to send up there to Stich from all the impalements and accidents she had throughout her course. So very interesting to see them, and they just had a great time, and mother and daughter together. So congratulations to you guys. Loved all your updates. Love seeing you out there. So we got a few starts that are coming up from our support list that are starting shortly after Christmas there, and that is Kenny. He's starting. That's his trail name, Kenny. And Bartman, he is going to be starting. Prepper's going to be starting. Great Grandpa is going to be starting. And Jeff and Maila Esterbrook, they will be starting, and they're starting the first weekish right after Christmas. So that's going to be neat to send them there. We've got almost 100 folks that have signed up for my hiker support list, and if you're interested in being on that, that's basically a list where you can just go to, list your name, list your social media that you'll be updating to, And even if you're not updating the social media, you can still get listed there and just report into me. I'll be glad to share where you're at. I don't give exact positions for hiker safety, but anyway, that's where folks can go and find out how things are going with you, and just give you at a girl or at a boy or at a they or at a hiker all the way throughout the course of your hike. So looking forward to folks doing that and continue to sign up for that. Registrations have gone up just a little bit, not a whole lot. Last week we had 1,596 no-bow, and this week we got 1,640. We had 88 flip-floppers last week, and we got 92 this week. And then Sobo, we had 88, and we dropped down to 56. Not sure exactly how that happens there. They drop, you can go and change your registration and drop out of the registration, and the ATC wants you to do that so they can get an accurate listing there. So I don't know if it's kind of unusual for that many people to hike, and maybe the ATC tweaked it or something. But in any case, our totals from last week was 1,772, and this week is 1,788. So looking forward to all those people. We're still only maxed out for 2 days on the trail, and that's March 1st and April 1st, typical days that folks max out. So looking for those other days to get maxed out. So some trail news out there. 2023 hang tags, or the bag tags that I call them, they are not available yet. So you folks that are starting out at Amicalola Falls State Park, you will not have those yet. According to the ATC, they're coming sometime mid to late January. Don't know why they're coming so late. Haven't had the opportunity to get in touch with them and try to find that information out. But if anybody out there knows it, there are some folks down there that are hooked into the ATC that may know that. Feel free to leave a comment down below, or send me a instant message, or send me an email, something to that effect, and all those links are down below. As are the links down below if you want to be on the hiker support list or go and see the hiker support list. All those links are down below as well. And then another thing, when I called down at the Amicalola Falls State Park, they indicated that they are not currently keeping records yet registering hikers down there. That will not happen until January 1. So we had some folks that started in, of course, I know Papa Bear started in October, and some folks started since then in November and December, just a few. But apparently they have not been able to register down there. Last year, and particularly back before COVID, we had some physical therapists that are coming from the Ivester College of Health Sciences at Brunel University, Department of Physical Therapy. They come and they meet at Mountains Crossing in March. They'll be doing that again this year, and they work with people's physical therapy that they may need since they've left Springer. Greg Patterson's in charge of that. We'll have some more information. There'll be some other places along the trail that they'll be doing that, so looking forward to seeing what else they got going on and how else they're going to be helping hikers. But thanks a lot for doing that, Greg, and heading all that up and putting that together. That's a real trail angel work right there that I know is appreciated by the hikers. And then we had a missing hiker on the Appalachian Trail in Shenandoah National Park. Now, here's another odd one again. It seems like every time we have a missing hiker in Shenandoah National Park, there's some weird stuff going on around there. But James Allen Cadley had filed a backcountry permit on September 22nd for 7 nights on the AT, and the National Park Service indicated that he was expected to return on October 6th, so he wasn't going to be out there that long. But then 2 months after his expected return date, Cadley was reported missing on December 12th. Park officials said Cadley's vehicle was discovered on December 15th at the Turk Gap parking at mile 94.1 on the Skyland Drive in the park. So obviously something's broke there. To begin with, that's like 2 months after he was overdue that he was reported missing. So either something's broke somewhere. It looks like his family members would have reported that before now. But also, if he filed a backcountry permit, it looks like somebody would have seen his car out there and would have started with the Park Service and would have started asking questions about what was going on and why that car had been there so long. So, something's just really weird there. You'll recall that we had a girl who was missing earlier in the year. there were some weird circumstances going on with that. Weird, from the standpoint of coming from the National Park Service, but in other places as well. But the big thing was that I had called and requested information from the National Park Service, and they weren't willing to give it to me. I requested a Freedom of Information Act response to get that information for y'all, and they weren't willing to do that either. So apparently they just feel like they can just circumvent the law and don't have to do that. So never got any of that information out there. Had to file an appeal. Still never got any of that information. So, I thought they worked for us, but the National Park Service out there, and by and large, the National Park Service, they do a great job. So don't hear me putting all of them off or anything, but it is kind of a put off to me when you can't get information out there, and I'm just wanting to get that information to you just so other folks can learn from that, and don't have the same issues that are going on. So in regards to the feral goats, what the ATC is considering doing, and it's going to their board, so we'll see how that works out, but they're considering requiring or certainly recommending goat canisters for 2023. So feral goats have got to be a problem there. They're very, very dangerous. They got those horns. They could really hook you. And so they are going to look at possibly requiring goat canisters. Of course, bear canisters are plastic, and goats will eat plastic, whether it be BPA free or not. So they're going to have to looking at requiring people to take along cast iron goat canisters to prevent that from happening. So hopefully to reduce weight, they'll allow you to use the goat canister in lieu of the bear canisters, which are made of plastic. So that should reduce your weight by 6 to 8, maybe 10 ounces, depending on the size of your plastic bear canister. So so keep that in mind. Just keep looking for that. Maybe to prevent you from having to buy a cast iron goat canister, that they'll have the goat canister exchange program like they did last year down at Amicalola Falls State Park. So don't rush out and buy your cast iron goat canisters just yet. I will keep you updated as I hear more back from the ATC on that. Don't forget, we got our Foothills end of days hike coming up. Awful excited about that. That's occurring in like 3 or 4 days now. So I am pumped up to see everybody out there on the trail and just get a chance to get back on trail as well. Going to get a warming trend, so I won't be shivering like I am right now in this 24 degrees with got a little wind blowing. So probably got a little bit of a wind chill around 20, and it is cold out here. So I'm going to get on inside. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And as always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out here.